Have you ever seen a night sky like this, filled with stars and many different patterns if you observe closely? Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Oliveboard platform. My name is Antara Bhoyan, and in today's journey, we are going to see how there are different stars forming different structures, what are they known as, and where is our position in this entire picture that you can see. So let us begin the study of the last chapter from NCERT class 6th textbook. The name of the textbook is Curiosity. This is chapter 12, Beyond Earth. This is also the last chapter from this textbook. Now, from the view that we get from Mountain Village. In this particular case, Nubra Valley is being considered, which is a region in Ladakh where majestic peaks touch the nearby almost cloudless sky. And from there, if we observe that the night is not dark, but it is lit by thousands of stars. And this is because it is dust free. The dust which we see in the city and the formation of too much of clouds, and again that same concept of fog, dust, smoke is not there in the, say, pollution free villages. Also, if we remember the process of cloud formation, then we had seen that some dust particles are required around which this water droplets, the water vapors, and the sticking process and the condensation process happened. If you do not remember that, you can refer to the previous chapters. And now, if we will consider this cloudless sky, then in that particular case, we will see that there are different patterns which are formed. This pristine view, free from air and light pollution, sparks an immense sense of awe and endless questions. From questions to, is life only here on Earth, or is it possible that there is life somewhere else as well in some remote, distant planet that we see? So, from the very beginning, there was navigation. The sailors used to navigate through the water, sea, etc. And there were caravans on the land. And how they used to identify which road they have to go, which path they have to follow, it was all guided by the guiding light, literally, the guide by the light, the stars. So, presently, the modern magnetic compass is there. We have studied a chapter on magnets as well in this series itself. You can refer to the playlist. So before that, they were guided by the stars. Then different cultures, there are different identities, and every culture have created their own stories about the stars. And they have given different names. Some have framed them into heroes, some have framed them into different animals, etc. And even today, the celestial navigation remains a vital backup in times of emergency. If something goes wrong, if nothing else is working, then the stars, the guiding light, is always there. So, if we look into the night sky, then we see that there are different stars and there are different stories as well which are associated to this. The stars are grouped into different patterns, and these patterns are known as constellations. And if we look into regional stories, there can be animals, heroes, and different myths around these stories, around this, say, stars and their patterns. Now, if you look into this picture, this looks more or less like a dog, right? So the name of this particular constellation is given as Canis Major. If you look into the Orion, then again you can see there are these three stars, and then there is, say, extension like this, one, two, three, four, and this one is at the center. So if you look into these three stars, and then if you extend it this way like that, then it will come down here. Again, 1 2 3, these stars, it is going eastward extension, so like that it can be imagined as a shield. So like this it can be seen in case of an Orion. In case of a Taurus also, we can see the structure of animals has been imagined in, say, cultures. Now, officially, if we recognize, it is this, that a constellation is an officially recognized region of the sky, often centered on a prominent star pattern. And in the early 20th century, the Astronomical Union, the International Astronomical Union, divided the entire sky into 88 official constellations. And as of now, if they're asking that what is a constellation, it is just an imagination or it is officially recognized, the answer is it is officially recognized. And how many are there? 88 official constellations. Now, for the same star, they're woven into different stories. There are different regional stories for the same stars. The pattern that we see is universal. From anywhere, if we see, we will see these patterns, but the stories that they tell are quite unique. In India, these celestial bodies carry ancient name, and there are many folklore associated with it. Say, for example, Say, for example, in Sanskrit astronomy, there is the Sapta Rishi. Sapta means seven, Rishi means sages, and Sapta Rishi is the great seven sages. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are the great seven sages. This is known as the Big Dipper or the Ursa Major. Then there is the Polaris or the pole star, which is also known as the Dhruv Tara. It is always constant. If we look towards the north direction like this, and if we look straight in front of our nose, then we will see the Dhruv Tara. Then there is nakshatra. Nakshatra is a term for a star or a star group such as Ardra, Kritika. So that is nakshatra. Then there are many tribal regional folklore as well. For example, in central India, the tribes present in, say, central India, for example, in Madhya Pradesh, the Big Dipper's rectangle is seen as a grandmother's cot. This rectangle that we see in Big Dipper, it is considered as a grandmother's, say, cot. As you can see, it is like this. And if we see in the Konkan coast fishermen, they see the same four star and imagine it as a, say, boat, right? So a boat is imagined like this in for the same four stars. So there are different stories. Now, coming to the solar system, coming to our solar system to be specific, the sun is the star in our solar system, and there are total 8 planets. Previously, there were 9 planets, but then Pluto being declared as the dwarf planet, now there are 8 planets, and the sun is the star. Now, in these 8 planets, we see that Mercury and Venus, they will not have, say, their own satellites, but after that, from Earth, there will be one satellite, and for Mars, there will be 2 satellites, and slowly there will be, say, after the inner planets are done, for this outer gaseous planets, there will be many satellites. All right. So we have our star as, say, the sun. Then there are 8 planets and their moons. Then the dwarf planet is your Pluto. And also there are asteroids and comets. Between this inner planet group and this outer planet group, between Mars and Jupiter, there is a complete asteroid belt. And in this asteroid belt, these asteroids are also revolving around the sun. So the sun is the star and it makes our world possible as it is the only source of energy. And all the source, all the energy that we have on earth, it is derived from the sun. Take the example of the autotrophs. They are making the food with the help of the sunlight. How they are using the carbon dioxide and water. In the presence of sunlight only, it is possible to use the pigment chlorophyll and then have C6H12O6 and oxygen. So that is how we see that everything that we have, every sort of energy is directly or indirectly from the sun's energy. Now, let us talk about the gravity. The gravity is the earth's, say, gravitational pull, which is in terms of a figure 9.8 meter per second square if we have to give the value of the earth's gravitational force. But similarly, we have to understand that every object in the solar system is pulling everybody else with their own force, which is their gravitation. We have a universal gravitational constant, capital G, as well, which is 6.7 to 10 raised to minus 11. But we have to understand that how this entire system, how this is possible, it is because of the gravity. Otherwise, everybody is pulling everybody else towards them, right? But then this balance is what makes it possible. Anyways, if we look into the distance between the moon and the earth, it is approximately 150 million kilometer, and this is nothing but termed as one astronomical unit. In terms of size, the diameter of the sun is approximately 100 times that of the earth. And if you look into the importance, everything that happens, the earth is revolving around the sun. So the change of the seasons is because of this. The climate change, the weather change, the water cycle, evaporation, cloud formation, precipitation, everything is possible because of the sun. The sun appears larger than other stars only because it is so much closer. The next nearest star is the Proxima Centauri, which is about 269,000 times further away. If you talk about Proxima Centauri, then it is the next nearest star after the sun. If the question is which is the nearest star to the earth, it is sun. No confusion in that. But if they're asking you the next nearest or after sun or the nearest star to the sun, then it is your Proxima Centauri. So look at the question carefully, then answer. Though it is very simple, but still you have to identify whether they're asking to tick on Sun or Proxima Centauri. Now, if you divide these planets into the inner rocky planets and the outer giant planets, then we see Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars are known as the inner rocky planets, and Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune are known as the outer gas giants. These inner planets, they are rocky in terms of how their surface is. It is patchy, rocky, solid, and they are smaller in size. The Earth is known as the blue planet because it is largely covered with water. We know that. And in the class or chapter water, we have seen how, though it is largely covered with water, only 3% is fresh water, and that too, 69% of it is capped in the ice caps and the glaciers. So you can refer to that as well. Mars is known as the red planet due to its reddish soil. If you look into the outer gas giants, then Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, see, mostly they are composed of gas and they are much larger. And also they are characterized by these large rings which surround them. And these rings are made up of nothing but dust and rocks. Now, if you look into the cultural part, then we see here that there are ancient names as well because they're visible from long time, and they are Mercury is known as the Buddh it is known as, and then Shukra is Shukra is Venus. Prithvi, you all must be knowing, is Earth, and Mangal is your Mars. Similarly, for Jupiter, it is known as Brihaspati, and Saturn is known as Shani. How do we spot a planet in the night sky? How is it possible? So, five planets are bright enough to be seen with the naked eyes: Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and especially Venus. The Venus is the brightest object in the sky, just after the sun and the moon, and that is why it is known as the morning star or the evening star. Now, how do we identify whether we are seeing a star or a planet? So, mostly twinkle, twinkle, little star. So, what is going to twinkle is probably a star, because planets do not twinkle. If you look into the tools of astronomy, how we can see the stars bright and large, and comparatively larger at least. So it is with the help of binoculars or with the help of telescope. And to identify the different constellations, we can use some modern apps, like there is the Sky Map and there is the Stellarium. These apps help in identifying the different constellations and patterns. Now see the wanderers, the moon, asteroids, and comets. Natural satellites, moons. So we have moons, which are nothing but objects that move around the planets. For example, Earth. Earth moves around the, Moon. Moon moves around the Earth. And similarly, for Mars also, there is Phobos and Deimos. Like that, for different planets, for Jupiter, there is Ganymede, which is the largest satellite. For Saturn, there is Titan. So there are different moon for different, say, planets. Then asteroids are nothing but these kind of rocky, say, structures which are irregular in shape, and they move around the sun in the asteroid belt. Between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, they will move in their own asteroid belt. Now, if we talk about comets, they're also known as Dhumketu. Comets or Dhumketu is also used as if somebody storms into a room suddenly, then we say that, oh, you're walking like a Dhumketu. So, like that, also in um, local language, it can be said like that. If it is there in your local language, you can add that in the comment box. Visitors from the outer solar space, they are made up of dust, gas, rock, ice, etc. And as they approach near to the sun, as you can see, it gets hot. So this kind of the ice will start melting like this, or it will start evaporating rather, as a result of which a tail-like structure will be formed. So that is why we say comets, they have a tail. So that is why this structure will appear. And every 76 year, what appears is the Halley comet. The Halley's comet appears every 76 years. Coming to moon. Look at the surface of the moon. There are some craters like this. As you can see, these are the craters. See, the moon, it does not have an atmosphere of its own. Because of this, the almost no atmosphere like condition, what happens is that it will be it will see the impact of the rocks from the space, as a result of which these craters will be formed on its surface. Now, very important, for the first time, a country has soft landed on the southern pole of the moon. And near the southern pole, near moon's south pole, we can say, and that happened on 27th August 2023. And that is why on 23rd August 2023, we celebrate it as the National Space Day, to mark this particular Chandrayaan 3 and the successful landing on the moon. And that is why we celebrate this day. Now, if we look into our galactic home, then in this many galaxies, many galaxies, we have our galaxy, which is the Milky Way galaxy, known as Akash Ganga. And in this Milky Way galaxy, in our galaxy, we have our solar system and then we have our Earth. So that is our position, right? If we zoom out from our state, our country, from countries to Earth, then after that we'll find the other planets, then our solar system, then many solar system, right? So similarly, the space is huge and there are many distant galaxies, and whatever we can imagine, that is the boundary. So there are like no boundaries and it is still expanding universe. The expanding universe theory is also there. So with this, let us now come and practice some questions. But before that, is there life anywhere else in the universe? Yes, we do not know about it. It's not, say, discovered explicitly, but probably yes. Or what do you think? Probably no. Do let me know in the comment box. The sun appears much larger and brighter than other stars. What is the reason for this? Now, it is the only star within our Milky Way galaxy in our solar system. It is significantly larger than other stars. The Earth's atmosphere magnifies its appearance. It is much closer to us than any other star. And after Sun, the Proxima Centauri is the next nearest star. The text states that asteroid belt is a region in our solar system where many asteroids revolve around the sun. Where is the belt located? So it is located between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Which celestial body is often called the morning star or evening star? So we have seen the brightest is the Venus, which is also known as the morning star and evening star. India's Chandrayaan-3 mission launched in 2023 is noted as a significant achievement. What was it? It was first mission to bring soil and rock samples from the moon to India. It placed the first Indian astronaut on surface of the moon. It became the first mission from any country to achieve a soft landing near the moon's south pole. So what is the correct answer? First that any country has done soft landing near the moon's south pole. What causes a comet to develop its characteristic long tail? It travels so fast through space that it leaves a tail of debris behind it. As it approaches the sun, frozen material within it starts to evaporate. So that is the reason. How can an observer locate Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky? By finding the pole star and looking directly opposite to it, by looking for the brightest star in the constellation Taurus, by imagining a star line through the three middle stars of Orion and extending it eastward. So C is the correct answer. What is the primary reason mentioned in the text for excellent visibility of stars in the Nubra Valley? The region experiences cold temperature, which makes the stars appear brighter. The Earth's atmosphere is thinner over the specific part of the world. There is almost complete absence of air and light pollution. So due to this almost complete absence of air and light pollution, these stars are clearly visible. The text explains that Pluto's classification was changed. What is the correct classification of Pluto? The correct classification now is a dwarf planet. The text describes the inner four planets as smaller, rocky, and having solid rocky surfaces. Which of the following planets fits this description? So there is Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars. So Mars is the correct answer because these are the Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune are the outer gas giants. All right. Now coming to the next question. According to the modern definition established by the International Astronomical Union, IAU, what is a constellation? A group of stars that are physically close to one another in space and travel together. Any collection of stars that contains at least one of the brightest star in the night sky. a specific officially defined region of the sky that includes a prominent group of stars. So we have seen a specific officially defined region, and that is why there are 88 constellations, because it is officially defined region. So with this, we have come to an end of chapter number 12, Beyond Earth, which was the last chapter from this NCERT class 6th textbook. And if you want me to continue with this NCERT series, then do let me know in the comment box. Do let me know about it in the comment box. All right, everyone. If you want to find the previous chapters, then please refer to the playlist which is available in this channel itself. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Stay blessed. Bye bye.